So y'all can go ahead and start sharing and shit.
It doesn't come up.
You got 2 viewers already, you know?
Yeah, that's probably us. I'm not on. And we got 1 viewer. You see my arms? Damn. I look crazy, buff.
Hey, when you looking on your...
You look crazy thing.
Yeah, I know, right?
See this? Damn. Flex.
You making me look like...
Oh, okay, he kind of... I was like, wait a minute.
Put it on. Had to show everybody out there. Don't let it fool you.
Babe, you got your meds here?
No.
You taking 4 minutes?
No. That's usually...
I mean, you should be able to hear what's going on.
We got 4 viewers. 1, 2... No, you're not even viewing.
Yeah.
Look at you. Hello. Hello. Kenneth.
Yes.
People are waiting on you.
People don't ever wait on me.
That is true. Mr. Sunshine.
Get the fuck out of here. Nah, Miss Edwards. Facts.
Oh, I just got what she just did.
She tried.
She tried it.
She tried it.
Yeah, she tried that one. That was good.
Go ahead. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about Did you share it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, bro, don't even do
Yeah,
that.
you can't
We don't
see
even
it.
have our own
Cause
things.
y'all don't pay attention. This is a podcast. Y'all just do your own thing. Y'all have a manager for no
It's
reason.
not even there.
Can I start getting paid for putting up with
No.
y'all?
Aladdin.
Yeah, I know. I wish a genie was here.
I know that's the whole significance of here.
Hey, Takara said we got a special
We
guest.
can all share.
Did you check your account?
No, not yet. That was another thing. Okay, it's different here.
I actually like it.
It's 8 o'clock and it's talk that time. We have a guest all the way from the United States.
Alabama.
Okay, all the way from Alabama.
Yeah.
His name, okay, Tuma, you gotta introduce yourself. I don't know if you actually ever watch our show, but okay. To my right is...
I kind of do.
Okay, never mind. Let's do
Do
this
it
again.
again. Let's
No.
focus.
Okay, are you there? Are you okay?
I'm in the moment.
Okay. My name is Mary Sunshine. I'm your favorite host. And to my right is...
Steve, a.k.a. Mr. Black.
Okay.
Mm.
I was like, what government?
See
And,
my government name, you know what I'm saying?
and to my left
Hey,
is...
it's your boy Eddie Monster. What's good with you?
All right. Hey, Mary. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to talk about sex, the one topic that everyone likes to talk about, but everyone does it behind closed doors. So we are going to do it at this table, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the
I
question...
thought she was going to say we were going to do it in public. And
No, we
that
don't.
was just going to sound like...
Sex. We're about to do sex, and we're going to just do it right here on the table. So
Yeah, I was like...
That would be a
This
quick
is-
15
I was like, this
seconds.
guy
we're going to start
Quick.
needing cue cards.
yeah. This guy
So,
forgot it quick.
the very first question that I have is, well, it's not the very first question, but the question that I have for you guys is commitment to sex. How important is sex to you, whether you're in a relationship, whether you are married, and whether you're single?
Do you like sex?
It's alright. No, I like it, but so I think for females it's kind of different than males. I think sex starts in our head before it starts in our vagina.
Do you like it in your vagina though? Like, do you like it or love it?
In my vagina, I love it.
I'm making sure. I gotta check
Now I know.
Knock out two topics.
So,
It's our relationship going there.
if you're wondering why we look so shitty and tired, we did have a wedding last night. We did. Yeah.
She doesn't have a ring on already.
I
It's
really
the first
don't.
day. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna try. That's what building, marriage is all about. I have on mine though.
Yo, that's-
you know what I'm saying.
You did see that? How,
You know, flash it. You saw how you flashed it,
Yeah.
though?
how I should do this?
I ain't gonna lie. If you go back to the beginning, you would have seen me like, oh, is it right? Is it right? Boom.
But yeah, so we are here, Black. Let's
What's
talk
up?
about it. Do you like sex? If no, okay. Like you're married,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Since you're married, since you're married, what do you think a healthy amount of sex is in a marriage?
In a marriage, I always say it's as much as possible, man. Like, it's a connection. It is something that bonds you two together. So as many times as you can do it, the greater that bond is. It's something that's gonna hold you to. So that's why I can't stand to hear females say, "Oh, he ain't acting right, so I ain't gonna give him none." You crazy. You know
So,
what I'm
but
saying?
if
You're
a
breaking
female
that.
is not acting right, she still can get it?
Yeah, if men don't care about that, right?
Uh-huh.
So we're not going to just hold back. We can be mad and still have sex.
Right.
So
You
then,
know what I'm
but
saying?
that means it's just angry sex.
No,
No,
it's a
yeah.
commitment to
I kind of
you.
feel alone here by
'Cause,
myself.
yeah, I'm like, you alive.
Yeah, we got this. How you doing?
Yeah, we got No, it's a commitment, man. It's a commitment to sex. Sex and arguing and all that shit should not all go together. You got an argument over here. That don't change how I feel about you or nothing
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, we argue, but we should still be able to be like, you know
So-
what? Let's get busy. We got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
We can still go back to the argument.
Hey,
That's
it's
the problem with
it's a
females.
commercial on.
Females think that just because you have sex, that now you gave us something, so he's not gonna be mad. Or
Because-
the
no, but-
problem is gonna be fixed because
Yeah.
I gave him some. Nah, we don't think
Because
like that. We still
no,
gonna
you
argue.
guys do.
No.
If y'all fuck up and then we give y'all sex, then the next day is like, okay, we're good. And then I'm like, no, I'm
No.
still
So
mad.
it's the
So you're
endorphins.
taking
It's an. Oh,
It's the endorphins we got from having sex.
No,
we
no, no.
feel
I don't
good.
even know what endorsement
No.
means.
Endorphins
So,
are-
so
whatever.
in that
Endorphins.
aspect, if you look at sex like that, you just totally negated everything that I said earlier. Now you're using sex as
A weapon.
a weapon, or as you did a good job. Here's a doggy treat. You know what I'm saying?
No, but it's
Instead
not
of
even
using
a
it
good
for
job.
some-
If we're
yeah.
good, it doesn't. I'm not going to give you sex because you washed the dishes and you took trash out.
Why not? This is the problem.
That's the
We need to
problem.
work on
What?
this. We need
Y'all
to work
just
on this.
said
Yeah.
that it shouldn't be a dog treat, and then here we go saying that.
Nah, you should just. I'm saying if we got time and you see me taking the trash out and you ain't gotta be at work,
You know
when
what
I
I'm
come
saying?
back, just be butt naked.
If we watching TV
What?
and a commercial
Why not?
come on,
You know what I'm saying? You see, that's what I'm saying. We gotta keep building this bond. You know what I'm saying?
I don't really feel like this is going well for me.
I'm speaking for every man in this world. You know what
I'm
I'm
trying
saying?
to help you brothers out.
Yeah, I need y'all homeboys to comment. We trying
You know
to get it
what I'm saying?
rolling. We gotta change. You know what I'm saying? The thought process.
Ladies, do you
Yeah.
guys think that if there's an issue in the relationship, that you should still have intercourse with your partner?
In that case, that's if there is an issue in a relationship, there is no connection.
Yeah, so then why would I want to have sexual intercourse? But that's what I'm saying. If we have an issue, we're disconnected. If we're
So
disconnected,
if you have an issue, you don't love that person no more?
no, you do. You fix the problem before you start.
I mean, you can work on the problem. I can do two things at once.
No, you can. Y'all men
Nah,
can't
see, this
do
is
it.
the problem with females, yo. Though y'all problems,
Ooh.
yeah, facts.
What up?
Or maybe I'm just
What
speaking
up,
for
Linson?
myself and I
Oh,
can get away with it because we're on a
Andre.
podcast. But what happens is, like, you talking about an issue. If I ain't cheated on you, of course you probably ain't gonna want to build no connection, have sex and stuff like that. But yo, you mad because I forgot to fill your car up with gas and you want to
Y'all
carry that
making.
throughout
Do
the
you
day?
see how big of the difference y'all making?
That's just not
Well,
big
if
with
I
y'all.
cheated
That's
on
us.
you, then yeah, it's a
Y'all
big
use
difference.
for y'all a problem is a problem to y'all. Yo,
It is.
I'm mad right now, and now I'm mad. It doesn't matter.
Okay, look, before we go all the way there,
Oh.
so you being married now,
Facts.
I don't even know why I did that.
Yeah, what's it?
We're-
You gotta do that. No more. I'm your man. You know what I mean?
That was awkward.
We make it legal.
Hold on. I'll be man. You know what that's
Yeah,
supposed to
we
be.
made
She trying to say. She trying to take calls
Did
to
y'all see that
dude
dude's
on the side. and shit.
Did y'all
We
check
seen the
two
paperwork.
conditions?
Okay, but hold on. Since you're married
You
now,
got the eye.
what
Yeah.
is the healthy amount of sex we should have? Healthy amount by number
For a week. Let's say what's
for a week. For a week,
Out of 7 days a week,
If
3
you
to
say
4 days.
3 to 4 times.
3 to 4 days. Okay, time. You can do it twice in a day, but 3 to 4 days we should be. Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Why
I
y'all
don't
laughing
know.
about
I don't
that?
know about him.
You think that's funny though?
3 to 4 days?
How y'all act
So
like
you
that?
trying
Y'all
to-
go to work 5 or 6, 7 days
But
a
I'm
week.
born.
And y'all, see, this is the problem with y'all. Y'all
Well,
gonna go to
For
work.
a hardworking woman that is not just at home watching kids or as a housewife, 3 to 4 days might work. But if I work 9 hours and I come home and then I gotta cook and then I gotta clean, I gotta do homework with my child, and
You ain't got 5 minutes? I mean, let's be real. Most of y'all out there, it's 5 minutes.
3.
3. Wow.
3 hours.
3 hard minutes.
3 hours.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't go long, so you know what I'm saying?
I think it's a lot still.
Just because,
It's not a lot.
Just because
Listen,
it ain't long don't mean it's wrong.
My question, hey, I got a question for you women though, and please answer this because I'm gonna be that. Yo, y'all want to sit here and y'all want to go to
What
work?
up, O'Brien?
You said this is a regular working, you know what I'm saying, female, right?
Yeah.
Y'all work 7 days a week. Y'all get paid to work and all that stuff right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all get home and y'all tired. Dudes are working. If you have a man, he's out, he's working and everything right there, right?
Well, we already
All right.
established-
So, but no, what I'm saying is, but from a dude and a female, when you go home, you're benefiting. You're going to work and you're benefiting from getting
Hi, Angel.
from getting money. So why wouldn't you go home to your dude and benefit for having more sex if things are gonna be better around the house? And then maybe the next day you don't have to cook because you gave him some the day before. So now
So
he
it
cooking.
is a doggy treat.
It's
Y'all,
not.
yes,
No,
it is.
it's a job. It's a commitment.
No,
You
messing
go to
up. I ain't with
Nah,
you.
yeah, come on.
no, he just went left.
It's
It
a
is.
commitment.
No,
It's
it
a
is.
commitment.
It's a dog treat. So I come from work, I do all
No,
this.
no, no,
so
no.
let me give him some.
Look at
and
it
then
like this.
hopefully
Look at it like this. Look at
tomorrow
it like this.
he took the trash out.
I think the problem in that whole scenario is we as
What up,
people,
Ryan?
as a society, we have taken ourselves out of having natural relationships, right? We put work and money before so many things
Ooh,
in
that's
our
actually
families.
good.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
actually
So we'll tire ourselves out in the world, and if we want a family, we want a good relationship, but at the end of the day, those things that we're going after, ends up deteriorating that, right? So
I like that.
a lot
You
of
just
times,
gave me goosebumps. Let's go, Black. Come on, continue.
a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we'll let the world get out there and get us wrapped up and off track for what we really want and achieving what we really want. So we want healthy relationships, right? Sex is a part of a healthy relationship. There's nothing wrong with having sex 3 or 4 times a week, especially for women. You got to understand, you guys mature a lot faster and you guys hit your sexual peak before men, right? So if you're like right now, I'm 36.
Damn,
So
you look good for 36.
you know
Okay,
what I'm
keep
saying? I do a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But
My best man.
I'm the BM.
Baby mama. let me read some comments real quick,
Yeah.
and then you jump back in because that was fire. Jessica said, "But it's like Mary said, it's in our head. I need to be emotionally connected to you in order to physically seduce you." What?
See, here's my comment to that though. It goes right back to what I was saying. The emotional connection is tied to the sex, and in the moment you create. That's where that feeling is created. You know, just past the I look at you, because looks can fade away and you get tired. You get tired of looking at the same person for years. You know, but you know what I'm saying. If you got that sexual connection and you felt something on the inside, we'll say, keep it PG, right? So you felt something on the inside, you connected on that level. Now you have something to expand just that outer beauty. You know that
Okay,
person.
I can
working.
go.
Can I jump
Damn,
in with
so I
that on
can't-
that same
okay,
comment
okay.
though? Who using that as an excuse?
I'm not.
No,
it's
not
not
you. No, I'm talking because girls. I
I
hear that a
used
lot.
it.
Okay, well listen, I hear that a lot from females. Oh, I have to be connected with you in order to get busy and stuff like that. So y'all gonna tell me you ain't never like been with a
I ain't
dude,
wanna slow that
start
down.
having sex with the dude, and then got into it, and then got hot, and then got them connections that you did, or got them feelings that you might not have just sat down on the couch and was like, yo, boom, I hit it. But y'all started and everything, and then built it during the moment. Like you can't just say, yo, all right, now I'm here, I'm gonna have sex, and now it's gonna be good.
Okay, I really didn't listen.
How many,
Okay,
what I'm
so
saying is, how many times have me and you smashed, right? And then we.
now that we're married, it's like
not
You can't be
Ah.
smashing. So
Now
now we're
it's
smashing
me
before
and-
marriage.
Oh,
We gonna talk about that next week. No,
Yo, but how many times have we just randomly had sex and then we didn't think we were gonna go nowhere? You know what I'm saying? And then in the moment, you get all those butterflies and all that.
all I know is
connection and stuff like
we
that.
went to sleep in one day and then we woke up having sex and neither one knew how it happened.
And that shit was bomb.
I enjoyed
I
myself.
enjoyed it. I went to work and didn't brush my teeth. I'm breathing on everybody.
Whoa! So the car said, I don't think sex should be withheld because sometimes that's what couples needs to connect. I agree. And I said sometimes we be tired. Warren, I like it. He said, make time for sex. We make time for everything else.
Exactly. You make time for
Hey,
so
Angel.
much more stuff, and you can't make time for your man. You know, I look at it like this, and my natural nature is I like to please people, right? So my friends, I want to make sure my friends are okay. My friends are happy. My friends are squared away. My wife, I want to make sure she's squared away. I like to please my wife, right? So that's part of sex. You know what I'm saying? Sex is a part of that, but I don't feel like a lot of women get that understanding nowadays. You hear so much about
Hi,
people
Kayla.
saying, you know, oh, a man does this, and now you have this whole black men don't cheat, and you know, for a while it was black men are dogs. And so I think we have downgraded men as a whole so much to where women kind of feel like sex is the only power they have over men because that's all we're out after.
I
And
really
so-
don't like Black being on this show because he can't like.
No, he enforcing.
Actually, he's dropping bombs, but I don't like the bombs.
I like the drop.
I feel
Facts.
like no. I feel like
Facts.
I gotta
My
run
G.
around. Great.
Man, it's,
Can I have another female in here? I feel.
I mean, y'all more than welcome.
Ladies,
It's
jump
people
in
watching,
it.
Y'all get
They ain't
jump
got
in.
nothing to say. Y'all
No.
feeling the same shit.
No.
You know, it is.
If
The
you-
truth
if you-
hurts.
Yeah, the truth's gonna hurt.
You know what I mean?
The question of
It's-
the day. Thank you for everyone that joined. Go on and comment. How many times do you think you should have sex? How committed are you to sex? Is it important? Is it not important? Jump in.
Hey, Black, I gotta ask you though. How many times do you think is for in a week that you should have
He
sex?
said
I
that.
ain't
You
gonna-
agree with my 3 or 4?
I ain't gonna put a number on it. I think 3 or 4 is healthy. I don't necessarily put a number on it. I just say that if
We love you too.
your partner is ready and willing, you shouldn't be denying on a regular basis or on a constant basis. If I come to you one time and like, hey, you know,
It's about that time.
I need that healing, you know what I'm saying? And then just no. So you're tired. Okay, I get that. I can deal with that. If I come to you 2 times, okay, this must have been a really stressful week. I can understand that. But if I've been coming for you for week after week, and you know what I'm saying, it's still a no, or you got this issue now, or every time it's an issue, my back, my neck, oh, no.
My
man.
back, my neck. Put
You
them
know what I'm
together, girl. We
saying?
can make some
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't even trying to touch your back.
But
You know what I'm saying?
What
So,
about
you know,
What
it's
about
just,
me?
What's your number?
So then here's the problem with me, right? I am not very turned on by a dog running behind me. It's kind of, I like to play games. It sounds off, but it's for me it's already foreplay. It's foreplay when I know that he doesn't want me, so I try to get it, and he's like, okay, you can have a little bit, but no, that's too much. And so then that gets me excited. I know. That gets me excited.
You got a cop outfit in the car, don't you?
But him,
I got my screw though.
You know what I'm saying?
him always being behind me like a little dog and always following is kind of like, okay, well, it's alright. It's
Anyway,
fine.
I think it worked out though. Look, I know. Let's get really into it. Yo, we had talked about it though. Do you think that there should be a mandatory minimum number?
I think if you have to have a mandatory minimum number for sex, you should probably seek counseling and maybe a divorce.
Are you serious?
Damn.
I don't agree with that because listen,
Divorce is a big word.
we was talking
It's the D
you
word.
know what I'm saying? The connection is obviously gone. So if you're not going to seek
Thank
counseling, that means that you don't care for the connection. So why stay in a relationship where you don't care to connect?
So I will go back and be with on a female.
I mean-
we've been tired and we've been working, but we also know like, bruh, I know we working hard enough, and we ain't had time, so we need to get it in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just because we need to do. We
That's a
talked
different
about
story.
it.
That's a whole
Angry
different.
sex.
That's
That's just
a whole-
for me.
you
Yeah,
think
but
that's
sometimes
angry sex?
no.
Exactly.
There's angry sex. There's a lot of angry
Catch
sex.
sex. Yeah.
There's
It doesn't involve any condiments though.
for me. There's angry sex. Then there's makeup sex. Then there's I just need to get out frustration. Then there's I really don't care about. Well, not I really don't care, but I know you want it. I don't really want it. Okay, whatever. You can get it.
But
and
you
there's
gotta,
good sex.
I think you got to be careful with that though. With that, you really don't want it, and you're just there because that defeats the purpose of it.
But
because there's no connection in that. Because right now, you think about, what all we said sex entails in a marriage. That connection. That's why they tell you don't sleep around. Because you get attached to people and you give up a part of that connection with somebody that you really weren't meant to connect with. So, by you being.
Like, he's been here the whole time. He ain't never speak smart.
I think I'm so smart.
I'm country dumb, you know what I'm saying?
Psych.
I play dumb, but I'm never a fool. But, that connection. So, if you're in a relationship or you're in a marriage and you're having sex and you're just doing it to be there in the area, you're just there. That means that there's no connection, so it really defeats the whole purpose.
I'm
really,
just
you
cut
sweat
you
for
off
nothing.
here because O'Brien said, Eddie, man, you can't have mandatory minimum.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's no such thing.
If you're having arranged sex, if you're having mandatory minimums in arranged sex, you might as well contribute to prostitution.
First of all, I don't know why y'all angry at me. It was a question. I didn't answer the shit.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I didn't say you're supposed to have a minimum. I said, what would the minimum be if y'all was to have one or something like that?
See how you already forgot what
Yo,
he said?
chill though. I got a question though.
No, I'm gonna read real quick. Warren said it should be a priority to get pleasure from a sexual relationship. I can see that. Jessica said sex is just an act. It has no number. It's just given when the energy is right. If it's being used as leverage, you ain't doing nothing right. I agree. It has to be in the air. It doesn't have to be love. It's just sex needs to be in the air. That's just me personally. Like when I talk to someone, okay.
I don't know what kind of air y'all bring.
No.
I don't know what type of, but here's the thing.
Think
Okay, so
it.
your air has to be different than a man's air then, because for men, I know as men, sex is always in the air.
Yeah, of course. As men, sex is always in the air because
and it's not just
there.
no, it's not a connect. It's not even that. A lot of times, you say you want. A lot of women crave love and affection from their husband, and that's a way a man shows. That's one of the ways we know how to show love and affection. Okay. So
that's BS.
It's not BS.
No, because you're
he was like, that's me. That's me, man.
There's so many guys out here sleeping around. There's also a lot
of women.
Here.
If there can't be a lot of guys out sleeping around, if there's not a lot of females sleeping around.
Can I say it? Can I finish talking?
Unless everybody's sleeping with the same chick, and that's
out
just
here
wrong.
in Germany, maybe.
That could be true.
There's a community vagina. Definitely.
But
I'm saying.
Wow.
Eddie, don't act like you don't know nothing about that. Come back.
I know vagina in Germany besides you. I don't know what's
Okay. Down. Okay. Anyway. So if showing love is through sex for males, then what is sleeping around with multiple females? Like.
Say what now? Say again, please.
If female or if males, like you said, show their affection or their love through having sex, what is males going around sleeping with?
I know.
Okay, so there's a difference.
I was searching for affection. I know when I used to sleep with multiple women, I was searching for the right type of affection. You know what I'm saying?
Is that what you?
Yeah. It took a long time.
So when I was going, I was trying to find the right hoe.
I was trying to find.
You know what I'm saying? Hey.
But you got to understand though, there's a difference between sex between a couple who's in a committed relationship and sleeping around. Okay, so if you're committed to sleeping around, you're just committed to the act. So it doesn't matter if that person's there. It's better if that person's not there in the moment because you don't want that connection. You don't want them problems, right? That's how stalkers are created. And I dealt with stalkers.
I want to switch this up. I'm the only one with questions. I'm on fire.
And so,
on fire. Because
so check this out.
Just cut me out then.
So I got this, right?
I wish I had
the title was Commitment to Sex. So what if your sexual partner, whoever you're in a relationship, they like certain shit, and then you like certain shit, and you try their shit and you don't like their shit? Should you continue to do it?
What?
Because y'all in that commitment, y'all had that commitment for sex. She like, I ain't gonna mention, but like, she like what she like. I like what I like. And then I'm like, yo, come do it. Come over
You a
here and
little
do
bit more
this.
freaky than she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? When I first met him, he acted like he's such a freak. Oh, I do this, I do that.
Yeah.
Until I was
You was a
like,
freak
put it
till
on the table.
You was a
And he
freak
was
till,
like,
till she broke out the knuckle.
I ain't want to run.
he's not.
I had to wait for her to get married
not
to show
freaky.
my freakiness. You know what I'm saying? I'm sort of like, you know what I mean? Nah, but it's cool. We're not talking about me.
Yeah, you're right.
The question is, do you continue, even though you don't like it, for that other person, do different sexual favors or whatever's on their wish list or whatever the case may be?
I think you should try. I think you should try maybe one time.
More than
maybe
once?
Yes. If it's like painful or very, you feel like it's very, like not even inappropriate necessarily, because some shit is to me inappropriate. It might not be to you, but I feel. I feel like
Christy said, absolutely not.
Absolutely not what? That she ain't.
I'm not putting on these handcuffs.
I just think you should at least try. If this is a committed relationship and you want to make your partner happy and you want to make sure that your partner is not going anywhere, because at the end of the at the end of the day, we as females, we want to make sure that the guy stay around. For guys, it's a bit different, in my opinion. If a guy sees that you're lazy, as in you're not doing enough for the household, you're not doing anything for our wallet, and you're kind of just around just to be around, that's what's the word for not? Yeah, that's not attractive. And then for us, for females, we want to make sure that you stay around. So we think sex. If I give you enough sex, if I give it the right way and everything, you're not gonna go nowhere. So it's kind of, for me,
But
I feel like you should try.
Again, that's misusing sex.
No, it's not, because
that's putting a lot of pressure on you as a woman.
It is,
in the sexual
but
realm.
there's always pressure on us as a woman. We're always trying to figure out,
No. There's pressure on both sides, but the difference is, how do you conquer and overcome that pressure, right? So don't put unnecessary stress on yourself. You know what I'm saying? People tie too much sometimes to sex, and they're tying the wrong stuff to it. You know what I'm saying? They're anchoring stuff that sex doesn't jive with, right?
Yeah, why can't sex just be sex? What's up?
I'm gonna just read some things. O'Brien said that you have to figure out where your barriers are and see how to work it out. Julia said the sex is only amazing if you got the perfect person. I disagree. I mean, you're a female and all, but perfect. First of all, there's no such thing as a perfect person. And then second of all, when you go out there and you see a guy and he's fine as hell, and y'all talk and he's fine as hell, y'all go home, and then you like, you know.
Listen, America. Listen, people. I'm gonna be straight up.
You just said, "Listen, America."
America, people of the world, listen. I don't care who you are, where you are. If it's sex with me, it's good sex. So, like,
just with you.
I mean, there's other people in the world, I'm sure, but I can only guarantee myself. You know what I'm saying?
That said, you gotta be careful with this topic, sex. It can be looked at in a total different light for men and women. I totally agree. Like I said, for me, it starts here and then it goes down. For guys, it starts down and then it goes up. Usually, it stays at their heart. This is why we think that, because there's a lot of men that start with a sexual relationship, and that is the beginning of something, and then they start talking and they start liking each other, and then they realize, hey, she's pretty cool, she can cook, she can clean, and then suddenly it's a relationship. I don't see how did you get to meet your wife? Were y'all friends, or was it an immediate date, or was
I
it
introduced him to his wife.
What, really?
Boom, hell yeah, I got barbecue and shit.
Oh,
we all made a barbecue.
Okay, that was so gay. We're all not gay, but you know what I mean. Okay, damn, Caleb, y'all talk to while I'm reading these things, because some of them are really long, but I don't know.
What was the last? Oh yeah. The last question I had asked was, do you do those certain things? Can some of y'all answer that too? If y'all was willing to do what somebody is not willing.
I think. Okay, so it's cool to have boundaries. Of course, nobody wants to be prude. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be that person. So, as long as it's within reasonable boundaries, they're not, trying to tie you up and beat you and John Gray you. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no secret room in their house.
Like, why I
you
got
know what I'm saying?
patch, though?
You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of the stuff that we're talking about too, though, has to differ in the relationship that you have, the type of sexual commitment you have with the person. I mean, obviously, if it's a one night stand or something like that, you're not gonna go out and, hey, this is what I like to do. Do you want to try it out? No, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna continue. But I think if like more, mid-season or permanent types of things like that, you gotta kind of get over not get over. You gotta kind of
So this is
work
pretty
with
cool.
Work with people or something.
Caleb,
in situations.
I'm sorry, Caleb
No.
has been single because we kept talking about relationships.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to hear from someone that is single and hadn't had sex for a long time. Sorry, Caleb.
More times. I will put a poll up. We're gonna sign this petition. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna make sure you
We're
get
gonna find
some.
you somebody.
I know.
We're gonna find you somebody.
But he said, I believe that it's really important in a relationship to have regular sex. If the sex is not regular, it should be discussed. Sex should not be used, but it should be offered and understood. As for a single person, it is also important that all too often it is used as a form of manipulation from both men and women.
Facts.
I agree. I definitely agree. Y'all can, I'm just keep going. He said sex is used as manipulation. Either in a relationship or as a single person, it is being used and not shared, and this is a whole other problem.
It is being used and not shared.
Yeah.
Explain that.
I just say ditto.
Yeah, it's being used. So he's saying, the act is meant to be shared. It should be a joyous occasion for it. It should be something. That's why I said. Yeah,
that shit was pretty.
That was pretty good. Like
it should be
the
the poetry.
Yeah. So like we were saying earlier, people using it as a doggy treat, or using it to get leverage on somebody. That's a problem. It's meant to be shared.
Okay.
Real quick, because your question, Stephanie said, yes, if you're committed, then you'll want to do anything to please each other, even if it's not something you like.
Well,
I mess with
limitations. Don't let people just do anything to you.
I mess with Stephanie. She got a good mind.
Christy said that's something that has to be addressed ahead of time. I have to be comfortable.
What you mean? Oh, you mean like we not in the bed and I'm like, yo, put on an eye patch, grab the whip, and handcuffs. Things like that. But like
you said that about 5 times now.
I'm just playing.
So I'm just
eye patch though, baby. My little pirate.
Something sexy about a hole in your eye.
Hey,
I mean, gonna walk that plank, girl.
Everyone that came in, thank you so much for watching. Please jump into it. We're talking about sex and sex to the commitment to sex. How much sex? Who want to have sex? Where do you want to have sex? How you want to have sex? This is to the singles as well. Me personally, I have the question: if you're single, how committed are you to sex? Are you to the point where you're like, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle at any time, wherever, however? Or are you saying, well, I'm single and I'm just trying to save myself and wait for the right person? Some guys do it too, okay?
Because that is still a commitment to sex.
Yeah.
That's the dedication and commitment that you have when you very first have it.
And then there's other people that just believe in a whole lot of dildos and pocket.
That shit was
way.
I was actually, that shit juggled words in my brain just now because I was going to. What's the thing you said before that? You said singles who are committed, and then do you have to? Should you try out sex before you even get into a deeper connection with somebody? Should sex be something that you start off first with, kind of like within?
I don't think it's.
It depends. You know what? That depends on the person because people connect in different ways.
Yeah.
But understand this: people connect in different ways. You might not connect with that sexual connection. That might not be your link, but it might be your partner's link. So at some point, I think there needs to be a compromise if you do find yourself in that situation. You always have to be aware of that. Because you sitting up here and your link might be hot dogs and you connect them because y'all eat hot dogs together every day. But your partner like,
I want
these hot dogs. Like what
Go
about
get
my
this
hot
sauce.
dog?
Go get sausage.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm gonna just keep on reading. Ty over here said, "Who in here fucking?" I don't know why he did that, Christy. That's how Ty is. If you knew him, that's normal. Christy said, "Why do we feel as women that we have to submit to a man's needs and wants? It should be fun, but not uncomfortable." I agree with that. I do believe that a lot of times men think, well, if you really love me or really care for me, then it's not that uncomfortable because I want it and I love you.
For a man, I ain't gonna lie. For a real man though, when a woman submits to him, he won't ask you to do that. That's my personal feeling. When a woman really submits to a man and he recognizes that she submits to him, he wouldn't ask her, and he already knows what's going to be uncomfortable for her.
But
and he would never ask that.
It's not a thing of submission though. Like it's a relationship thing. You're not submitting to your man just because you give your man sex.
But
I agree with that. That's what I was talking about in the whole. I wasn't talking about sex.
Some things. Okay, so if you like his toe sucks, and you've seen them, these are Caesar toes. Like if I see them, I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like a gag reflex.
And that's the thing, I wouldn't ask you to suck my. I don't even like looking at my feet. As a real man, why would I ask you to put your mouth on me?
There's no such thing as a real man. Some guys like that.
Yeah, but if y'all niggas got ugly feet and you like your feet suck, that's wrong.
That's why you single.
Yeah, all right, yo, you bugging.
That's spouse abuse.
Yeah,
all right,
cutting my tongue up. Between the teeth.
I like what Sunshine said. Try. Sex comes with respect, but marriage comes with love and respect. I like that. That's nice. Yeah. Someone that loves you will try, but someone that loves you won't make you feel bad for not liking something they do. That's what you pretty much said. I agree. Warren said, on the flip side, we are becoming less and less dependent on human interaction. Technology, social media, especially dating apps, hinder people from really making real connections.
Well, facts.
Ron, you came out once again.
Yeah, what's the new thing? I heard it over, I don't know, from somebody or something. But like, what's the new Tinder or something? They get on that and then
you heard it from someone.
It's just like you go on there and I guess you're just supposed to smash or something like that.
Somewhere.
I heard it once or twice. I don't know where, but like I guess that's
in
a thing.
Your phone.
And you
my phone. It was an app.
What are you talking about?
I thought I was ordering food. This lady showed up with no clothes on.
Christy said, no, sex isn't a line for a good relationship. Connect to a mind and not body. Agree. A mindful connection is way more intimate than simple sex. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when I first met Eddie, everyone knows that. I thought he was ugly. I didn't have a connection with him. And then, he knows this. Do you see? This is my work.
It's on
this
every
is
podcast.
my work.
Actually, that's my work. I like
my work, first of all.
Teamwork.
Teamwork made the dream work. I was looking out for your benefit.
Thank you. What up, Mark? Thank you so much for yesterday. I did not forget. Thank you, Mark. What up, Jerry Wardlow? I was just about to say something and I forgot.
That's because you wanted to join me. You said I was ugly. That's where you left off.
You used to be. Oh, that's what it was. You used to be. And then we started having this great conversation. It was really awesome conversation. And you know how when you have someone really pretty, like gorgeous, and you see her or see him and you're like, oh my God, I just want to talk to them. And then you talk and it's like nothing. It's just air talk. Immediately, at least that's how it is to me, that man becomes less and less handsome, or that woman becomes less and less beautiful to me, because we really have nothing to share besides you look good. Mm-hmm. Like, so I'm walking around and they're going to say, so what do you like about him? And I'll be like, his look. You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. So
what got nice teeth.
So for me, that's why it always starts in the head. Well, also head.
Is it okay? Because some people, you got like escorts or you got people with sugar daddies and stuff like that. So what do y'all feel about those commitments? Because technically their commitment is, if you buy me this, and this, we don't need to have this interaction.
An escort is different.
Well, not an escort, but like a sugar daddy.
I don't knock anybody for their commitment. So if you committed to having a sugar daddy, you give them pleasure, they give you money for your bills. That's your job. And that's what I'm saying.
But is that a job? You know that a lot of sugar daddies I don't know, they have some type of connection.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I ain't never been a sugar daddy, but
I don't think
you will never
I'm your sugar daddy though. Oh shit.
See how you lie? God don't like
That's
it. He got
This
salt.
This nigga just knocked your diamond.
That fake diamond.
Oh, man.
It's the back of my earring. Chill.
Then stop playing with it. Okay. What was your question? Yeah. Blake, you got a question?
It was about
Because
I don't really have questions. I just got a lot of answers.
No, I don't like it. You have to ask questions too. You gotta ask
Okay,
them.
people.
And
So
then we
my
gotta
thing
answer
is,
them.
my
They
thing
gotta
is,
answer.
my thing is, for people who are in relationships that are having these problems, how do you talk to your spouse about it?
Oh, that's
How
a
do
good
you
question.
go to the other and say, what's the proper way to
like
bring this
that.
up? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people ain't gonna bring it up. Some
they make-
people will sit around and be miserable.
Before they talk
Yeah,
about
but
sex.
before they talk about sex, because everybody thinks of it as an uncomfortable situation. And you know me, I don't care. I'll talk about anything. And if for one, I'm not gonna sit nowhere and be miserable. You know what I'm saying? So I'll talk about it. So how do you go to your significant other and say, hey, you know, it's
I
been
can
some
answer that
time.
question.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
we
This
went
is
through
what I'm-
different
okay.
levels of that shit. I'm gonna use my relationship. We went to different levels of that shit because I know it used to be a very uncomfortable
Topic.
We wouldn't bring this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Because we had two different viewpoints or whatnot, the case may be. But what was dope about it is we both knew, so we had a conversation about how uncomfortable it's about to talk. How it is to
Yeah,
talk about.
that was.
Yeah.
That
So we was like, look,
true.
I don't like talking about it. This is why I don't like talking about it. You don't like talking about it. This is why you don't like talking about it. All right, cool. So now that we know that, then can we talk about it? And now it's like, yo, babe, can we talk about sex? Oh yeah. And we just be like, we'll be on the couch watching TV. So you want? Let's try this shit. All right, cool. And then we can talk about it.
I have an interesting question. I mean, I get with you, but here's the thing. We keep talking about guys. Is there any females that feel like they don't get enough sex or there's an issue with their sex life, whether it's single or in a relationship or married? Because somehow it's always the guys. I'm pretty sure there should be at least one woman out there that feels like she doesn't get enough sex. Is not getting...
We're filming in front of a live audience.
we got a live audience back here. But is not enough sex bad sex?
It's not enough sex. No, I don't think that. I think you can have. Maybe you might have sex like 3 times in a whole month, but they could have been some bad ass.
So then, okay. Oh, so if that's the case, if I give you 4 times in 3 months sex, but it's like out the movie type of sex, at least 2 hours type of sex. I suck you dry type of sex.
Wow.
I do. I cook naked
That
and
escalated
suck
quickly.
It.
Yeah.
Keep going, keep
Then-
going. Yeah.
We still got the night. The lights ain't out here yet.
Yeah.
No, but then would it be enough?
No, see, listen, first of all.
No.
If I keep. Go ahead.
That's
That's
his
just-
decision to make. You know, if that satisfies his desire, okay, if that meets his need, if that meets the need of your spouse, that's cool.
I know what you. That's like, yo, as an officer, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if I meet a number amount of people I'm supposed to pull over every month for 3 months, yo, dude, I mean, I don't have to work for the next 90 days? No, you still gotta be.
Yes, they be on the side of the road eating donuts and shit.
No, I don't think so. But I mean, it should definitely. I don't know if how you weigh that in, or if that's even in a calculation. You know what I'm saying?
So did you ever have to approach that type of conversation? And if you did, how did you do it? With
I'm just direct. Like, I'll come flat out. I give people a chance to kind of see it. You know, you throw them hints out there. And then it comes to a point to where you just got to be direct. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what's going on? Because I look at it like this. It's not really at that point about the sex. It's more so it's an issue going on that we need to resolve because that's blocking us from having sex. And I feel like if I can get the issue solved, I'll get the sex. You know, that's gonna come naturally.
That'll come eventually.
So my thing is, yo, what's the issue? You know, bump the sex because some women will just break down and be like, hey, here go the sex just to shut you up. You know what I'm saying? And the issue still goes on unresolved. So I want to know what is the issue. You know what I'm saying?
I go with that. I can understand that.
Can I ask female something? Hey,
There's no female that has yet to answer.
I know because they scared. Which one you
Don't be
asked?
scared.
What you asked?
Don't be
I
scared.
asked if there's females out here that are actually either not having enough sex or are unhappy with their sex life in a relationship, whatever. It
Oh,
doesn't
y'all scared
matter.
to put your business out there.
Yeah, obviously, because ain't nobody want to say nothing.
Y'all can tell me y'all secrets. I ain't gonna talk to nobody.
What's the issue that we had? I can't remember. And it's a lot of issues, but what's just like one off the top of your head that we had?
When it came around sex,
Yeah.
him thinking that he's like the greatest man.
Oh, Ron
in
Jeremy
the
Jr.
bed. Yeah, like he's doing the most. And he was putting it out there like he's dangling, swinging. I don't know, and he ended up being an Energizer bunny. That's it. It was just.
Wow. Wow. You've just been exploited.
That was a whole.
Yeah, that was a long time
No, but that was a
ago.
whole situation.
I taught him well. I taught him well.
But see,
He
but
has
you
now-
bring up a good point though.
Mhm.
You know, you gotta, as people in a committed relationship, you gotta learn each other. You know what I'm saying? So you put in effort to show him what you like to please you,
Yeah,
and
it took a
he
long time.
in turn did the same with you.
Oh,
And that's
he
how.
liked everything.
No, that's bullshit. No, because we remember
Yeah, baby,
we
I
fixed
like it
it.
wrong.
What do you mean? Remember you looking at him?
No, I said remember to you. I said remember baby. I said remember baby. We fixed it.
I was not there.
We
That
was
third
like,
hand
what
was not
happened?
mine.
What happened? We was because we didn't like. I don't know what was going on, but we was It would be like, yo, hey, I know you want it, you know what I'm saying, but yo, I gotta go, so come get it. And then I'm like, yo, you can't talk to me like that because I don't want it. That's not how I want it. Like I want it. You know what I'm saying?
How do you want it?
You know how I want
Look here, man. I'm gonna go in a
it.
second. I'm gonna go,
So
man.
awkward.
We're gonna go in another room.
So we kept it pushing.
No, because I'm not getting it. What happened?
You don't
What was
remember?
the
I think
story?
I don't know. It was either I want to say you had a gig or some shit. I don't know, it was some shit, but you was like we was at home and we wasn't gonna see each other for like 3-4 days. But the time frame that we had, like I don't know if you had to leave within the next 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or whatever. So you was like, yo, I know you want it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna see each other. Come on, let's just have sex like that. And I was like, and he was like, come on, you know. And it was just so like, I was like, nigga, you
But
don't,
because,
because you
yeah,
wouldn't want it.
I
And I'm like,
understand.
I don't want to just take it. I felt like I was, like it was just, here you go. You
I
know what I'm
get
saying?
it. Yeah, but even when you go on duty and it's like literally only 24 hours, you're like, oh, well, we need to have sex because I won't see you for 24
That's
hours.
a whole day in a row, consecutive.
You get
In
much.
a-
Hours. I mean,
He's about to answer that seriously.
I know.
Right, I never thought about that.
Kelly said finding physical connection is fine, and so is finding mental or emotional connection. Continuing the connection and helping build the relationship really depends on much more on the emotional and mental part. All three of those aspects are still important. However, when people get old as fuck, I don't know why you have to say it like that. When people get old as fuck,
Language.
the physical really starts falling apart. So the emotional and mental interests are really important if you want to stay together. I understand that. I kind of, what I do? I like that because you need all three in the beginning to connect, right? And then at one point, it's either life or you get old or whatever. Okay, scenario, we're together. We have all three. We have the mental connection, we have the physical, and the emotional, right? Something happens. You get in a car accident, you're in a wheelchair. The physical connection is kind of gone.
Dampened.
Yeah, so if we don't have those two, then we wouldn't have anything. You know what I mean? So that's why I was saying for females it's a big part, because if we're just talking physically you can get it anywhere, honestly. But if I'm look at me, fine as fuck. But if I
Sexy knuckles.
can't wait to this car ride home.
Yeah.
Detour.
Yeah. In the woods.
Is orgasm, I got a question for the females. Hey, is an orgasm a necessity for y'all? So like, let's say you with your dude or whatever, or and you never have an orgasm or whatever the case may be, like, is it a necessity to have at least one orgasm with your man?
You mean
I didn't
lifetime?
Like just in general, like or orgasm. Like let's say y'all have sex, right?
So-
And let's say maybe y'all have out of 100 times, you maybe only have 2 orgasms or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it a necessity for sex? That's what I'm saying for women.
I think
You know,
okay.
orgasm.
When it comes to things like that, I look at it like this. If you're doing it right and you're in it for the right reasons,
It don't matter.
certain things happen naturally. You know what I'm saying?
For females, it's not
That's
like
what
that.
I'm
Though.
saying.
It's not that easy.
I ran across a couple females.
He gonna tell on himself. He's been saying it all week. Let him talk long enough. He'll tell on himself.
Some you can just blow on them when they have orgasms. Some you gotta go get a drill.
I know.
You gotta go to drill. You gotta go to Tune. You gotta go to Walmart. Have peanut butter, and you gotta do all types of shit. You gotta be goddamn MacGyver. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it is hard.
I think sometimes it's more of a mental block. You know what I'm saying? They got too much going on, and they're attaching too much to the situation. They attach, like we said earlier, they're attaching things to the situation that don't even need to be there. They don't go there. Like you were saying, they need peanut butter. Who needs peanut butter for an orgasm? That's a problem.
Some people, not me. No, it really sounds like for real. Not me. I don't even like peanut butter. This sounds so awesome.
why are we talking about peanut butter? I don't like Jiffy. Like, what the fuck? And this is defending our own self.
I don't like Skippy.
I just put it on. I swear, I just put it on bread.
Shut up. Linson said, people have to realize that you will not always be ready to have sex when your partner is ready to. Ready. So you have to be willing. You have to be willing to have sex at times when you aren't completely into it. I agree with David. I don't think that we are going to want to have sex all at the same time all the time. There's no such thing. So if I know your love language is physical touch and you really need it, but my love language is words of affirmation, so I really don't need it in that time, I can still give it to you and we can still have a good time. It's just, it's not a necessity to me right now. So I guess it depends on how you word it. If you're like, we had that. Yeah, I used to, when he wanted to have sex, I used to be like,
that's the worst thing you can do. I think that is the worst thing.
I didn't know.
If somebody was to do that
what
to
up,
me,
Shawnee?
I'm just, at that point, I'm just out of it. I'm just going to go get a sandwich. I'm straight.
He didn't have that problem.
He's like, he ain't got a problem.
She'll be like, yo.
As long as it's wet.
So is that a problem? Hold on. That's
what
a problem. But you said that's a problem though. If you got a commitment
like,
to sex, how is that a problem if that's her?
Okay, think about it like this.
Because like when I know if she's like, yo, frustrated and shit, and I'm like, yeah, I know I'm tired.
Think about it like this. Okay,
she'll turn in bed and shit.
Take sex out of the equation. Say like you just came for them to ask to anything. If I come to anybody and I ask for anything, and their first response is, I don't want no more. I can come to you because my lights cut off and I need money. And I'm trying to borrow money. If I come to you, first of all, that means I trust you in this situation that you'd be able to help me out. And the first thing you do is put my trust in the wrong place. I understand that now.
I can go with that.
You're free to go on with your life. You know what I'm saying?
Jessica said that's why we are able to give life. Some men like it simple.
Through orgasms? What's she talking about?
I don't know. You should ask Jessica.
What's she talking about?
Some men like it simple, and most women like it pleasurable and with purpose. I mean, I understand. For me, it's really hard. I can count on one hand how many times I had an orgasm in my whole entire life. Because I know females that will tell me.
On one hand, well, I'm doing pretty fucking good. Sorry for all the rest of y'all niggas. Don't do that.
I did it. I did it 5 times. I did it 5 times to y'all none. 5 times. All me.
I'm like,
yeah, don't make this shit go left.
Takara said, I think we watch too many movies. Me and hubby ain't even hungry at the same time. Hey, how does one expect to totally different people to want to have sex at the same time. I get what she's saying. I don't. That's what I'm saying. You will not be hungry at the same time. You will not want to have sex at the same time.
No, that's not what we're saying. That's not
Hey,
going to
Riri.
happen. So it's not that you're going to.
Maria!
It's not like we're saying that you need to be so connected and so together that sex pops in my head and I telepathically send it to you across the room. Yeah, you thought sex popped in your head? No, that's just a cat. Oh wow. But no, we're not saying that there's some kind of telepathic connection. That we're saying, or what I'm saying, I guess, I'm not speaking for y'all, but what I'm saying is that if I am in the mood, me being in the mood should somehow engage you to at least start getting in the mood.
That's what I'm saying.
You
There's
know
no
what I'm
such
saying?
thing. Just because you're in the mood, this is not like a car. You're in the mood. Okay, let me. No, my battery's dead. Just leave me alone.
I'm gonna turn that key, pat that pedal, and if it still don't act right, I'm gonna get out and pull some gas down the
Well,
car.
what if they do? All right, let's use that, right? So you got the car, right? And so you got the driver, right? Mm-hmm. So you the car. He put the key in. He trying to, he want to go. Yeah. The battery dead, right? Mm-hmm. Well, don't you go pop the hood and like try to work out? Hold on, first, don't the car show you a light that the battery don't work? Yeah. And then you like, the battery don't work. So for y'all battery,
show you.
Hey, but look,
so then y'all be like,
look,
it's not a working out.
But look though, if you go out to your car 5 days a week, you getting ready to go to work. You go out to your car 5 days a week, and that mother don't crank.
You need a new
what
car.
You gonna do? You gonna get rid of that car? You know what I'm saying?
So
you gonna go get a new car?
Yes.
I'm saying that the car don't work.
Huh?
So you saying that
Yeah.
5 days in a week you go outside to your car and it doesn't work, you gonna get rid of it?
Hell yeah. I'm gonna get rid of it the first day. That's my car now. I'm not talking about sex.
Oh, okay.
I'm just talking about my car.
I wasn't sure we went right level.
I mean, I'll try to fix it. I'll try to fix it, but at a certain point, the car is gonna become. Is it worth fixing? Is it worth putting this much money into?
Yeah.
How many times do I have to keep fixing the same damn problem on this damn car?
Do y'all?
Cars.
Are they still talking about cars?
I'm just
As a people in this occasion, I don't know.
Maybe men just want in the car.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. She said, really? First off, women are not cars.
No,
okay,
we're
so
not
let's
saying
talk about
cars.
women. If I gotta keep trying to fix this solution,
See, every female's like, we're not.
Oh, now y'all want to talk.
Yeah.
Now y'all want to talk.
Hey, this is what they do. This is what they do. They take away from the big point and the actual thing.
Oh, we're not a car.
That
That was an analogy, folks.
Yeah.
Female.
All right. If the woman, if you got to keep having this conversation and keep going down it, and it's not getting fixed, and you're not improving on it, why do I want to keep? Why are we here? You obviously showed me that you don't want to work, or you're not going to. You can only go so far. So if you can only go so far, and that's what you're relaying to me after I try to fix it different ways and try to come with different solutions for you to start. You know what I'm saying?
What she said.
She in trouble. Hey.
Y'all can have me in trouble. So I ain't even worried about it no more.
Hey, in trouble.
What we gonna do?
A whole lot of sisters.
Jessica said the process of being pregnant and giving birth plays out in our body, so it plays out into our thoughts. Maybe too deep. I'll make a basic for you guys, for men to receive. Okay. Maria said, secondly, do either of you secondly, do either of you feel like rubbing our feet wherever we ask, which would be all the time? What?
She
I
said,
never heard that question.
Secondly, do you?
Why do you say?
Like
Why does it always come up?
Because this is just
My
opinion. Don't
But what
curse
does
me.
the question mean? First?
Like, okay, so when men start asking for sex or something like that, it's always like, I was tired the other day. You don't feel like you ain't rubbed my feet when I was tired? Why I gotta get up here and you know what I'm saying? Like that. That's like one of the things. Like
I'll rub feet.
Took long enough.
Because I mean, how I feel. This is what I'm saying. If I'm gonna rub your feet.
what you gonna rub?
Maybe that's something you need. You know what I'm saying? So if you need your foot rub, it's my commitment, it's my responsibility to make sure. Now, am I always gonna be there all the time to rub your feet? Maybe not, but I will do it as much and consistently as I can because I know that's what you need.
Can I get another water while you up? Since you gonna drop the mic and walk
No,
off
we're
stage.
almost done.
I thought that was fun.
That was a horrible
Yeah.
drop the mic.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I was looking for something and it just disappeared. Go ahead.
There's not just Ivor said treat people the way you want to get treated.
Thanks.
Yeah. So
Yeah. That's
The
a good way to
conclusion.
get stuff. That's a good way to get some good stuff out of people. You treat them nice, give them what they
You
want.
give them what
whatever
they
want.
need, they're gonna give you what you need. Most
last
likely.
question. Your most favorite sex? Angry. I'm a name you. Your most favorite sex? Angry, love making, makeup, frustration, release of frustration.
I put it to you like this.
No, don't give a long speech. One of
No,
those.
it's simple. I just like the act. You know, I want to be in it. If I'm with a person, that's part of what I want to be doing with that person. Despite other
Can you
things.
tell them
Just,
to answer
Yeah,
the
can you
question?
you just
'Cause
did.
you-
I don't have just
No,
one specific type.
yes,
You just
if
have to pick
out of
one.
I got
all
multiple personalities, so it depends
Okay.
on who you could be. you might come home to Hollywood Cole, or you might come home to Steve.
I'm gonna say rough sex. Yeah. Rough sex. Yeah.
The way he said it, like
Yeah. I had to weigh it out. It was either between rough sex and it was good. Rough sex, making up, and then making love.
You just.
But my
He'd be
number
great
one. My
for
number one
Rob's
is
to
rough.
get
My number one will be rough.
He'd be like, oh boy, all this chicken, can we please just have some
So
duck?
you don't like love making?
No, I love making with you.
That was whack.
I don't know why I did that.
He said, he told me. Maria said that's not true, Eddie Monster. Maybe you should get to understand a woman and her body and her needs first. Preach. Learn, research, and understand us, and then you'll have a better understanding that our bodies don't work like yours. Our minds do. Sure, we want sex as much as men do, but our bodies say different. You have it.
Yeah. And then you put my name in it, so you know what I'm saying? I think you.
Can we sing R. Kelly on here?
I don't know. It might get turned off
Last
because of
time we did
music
that shit shut
content.
off.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
saying,
not the truth.
as a general rule,
Oh,
is that loud?
We're not, I don't know. Eva said I agree with Maria. Now they have.
Oh yeah, no, they got a bond. Listen,
Yeah.
let me break
Okay,
both.
no.
I got it. Let me bust
My-
Yeah. She's saving y'all.
My favorite is a start of.
Start.
Yeah, because
we finna go on this ride, boss.
it's a ride. So we start making love and rough.
Yeah, but that's too mixed.
Yeah.
You didn't give me that option.
I feel like y'all be in there abusing each other.
No.
I mean, we be gentle.
I don't want to know. It was a joke.
I don't really know how to even say it.
It was a joke.
It's
I
just
didn't
a
want to
thing.
know. I don't need details. That's between y'all. I'm good.
This was an amazing episode. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed y'all. Thank you, Blake, for being here. I hope we will have plenty more of those. I think you worked good with us once you stop being Dr. Phil and became.
Always Dr. Phil.
No,
I'm
no.
the man with the plan.
Go ahead and
What we finna do?
go ahead and like the page Talk That. Share it. Let people know. We will put out a new poll for next week. And
Send your questions.
send your
topics.
questions if you
Not
have
questions.
topics.
Questions are topics. Maybe you just
Whatever
want a
you
question.
want us, to talk about, we will talk about it. Go on Instagram, like our page.
What else we want to do too, outside of questions? If you
Land
have
the
a
breeze.
situation that you're in or whatever, anonymously, obviously, send a situation and then we'll just talk about your situation.
Yeah.
If you want to know different maybe routes or
Yeah.
alternate.
And if you
Advice
want to
or
send
whatever.
something else in, you got like maybe suggestions or something.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure they're addressed properly because we will talk about you too.
We just won't name anyone, just so you know.
Yeah,
I'm calling names.
He's not coming back,
Yes.
so don't even look at him.
I'ma
He's
say
not
your
here
name.
no more.
You can send it to the
You
email.
talk that,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna call your name.
No, don't listen to him. This is a safe place.
This is a
This
safe
is a
place.
safe
You
place.
can,
I don't know this black man.
DM,
Okay?
email. You can do it on what's everything. Instagram.
Any and everywhere.
Yeah.
Next events, pretty much.
Meeting of the Souls popping up.
Yeah, I always say the wrong
Is
date.
it the 7th, 12th,
No.
17th, 7th?
No.
July something.
July, we
The
will
second
put it
week.
out. The second week of July, yeah.
Second week of July, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
12th.
That sounds about right.
The 12th of August,
Ish.
I think, ish. We're going to put it out there. Make sure you get your tables early. Make sure, Caleb, I hope you're going to be there again because people ask for your life paintings. Okay. My name is Mary Sunshine, and I'm your favorite host.
My name is Black, and I won't be back apparently.
That sounds so.
I should flip the table since it's gonna be my
Hey, boy, monster, man.
And we are out.